Welcome everyone to the Taylor School District regularly scheduled board meeting of July 17th, 2024, where our mission statement is to educate, engage, and empower those we serve. And our vision statement is that we will be the innovative destination district where all succeed. We call to order at 6:01 p.m. Mr. Heath?
Here.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas?
Here.
Mrs. Thomas? Here. Mrs. Schufelt will be late. Mr. Wright?
Here.
And Ms. Black is here. Would everybody please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are revisions to the agenda tonight. We will add action item 4, board member resignation. And we will add number 11, board member resignation. The discussion items. And action item number 12. Board member vacancy posting. All right, take it away.
Item number 3, revision / approval of the agenda policy 0166. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with the revisions? Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there a second?
Second.
We'll do
It don't matter.
Mrs. Thomas.
There
you go. Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Schufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Blau?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
That carries 5-0.
Okay. We will add number 4, board member resignation policy 142.5. On July 17th, 2024, the Board of Education received a resignation from current board trustee David Myers. The resignation letter states that Mr. Myers' resignation is effective July 17th, 2024. Mr. Myers has served on the board for 5.5 years. I would like to thank him for his service to the district and his leadership on the board over the last 5.5 years. It is my understanding Mr. Myers' resignation is self-executing. Moreover, the board will provide additional information during discussion of this board meeting regarding the requirements to post the board vacancy. Okay.
Mr. Myers asked me to read the email that was sent. I just gotta hold it up. He just said that, dear board members, I'm sending this letter of resignation to you as of July 17th. I will no longer be pursuing my duties as a board member due to health issues and upcoming surgeries. I will not be able to fully fulfill my duties as elected by the people. It was with great pleasure working alongside all of you through the years that I've gotten to work with you. I hope that you can carry on doing what you're doing and make Taylor School District the district I've always thought it would be. As of July 17th, I officially resign my duties as a board member. I just want to, give Mr. Myers well wishes. I know that, as he stated, he has health issues that him and his family are facing. And I just send prayers to them for a good surgeries, and that he recovers really, really fast and that he's in good health. So.
Discussion items. That's you. Isn't it?
Item number 5, discussion items. First up, we have Corewell Health Consent for Care Policy. Miss Donahue. There you go. Okay.
Teresa Donahue.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak today. So I am the director of the Corewell Health School Clinics that we have, and we revised our consent for care policy and our consent for care by rebranding. So it was Beaumont. It is now Corewell Health. So we changed the wording in our policy and on the consents. Also, we took a part of the consent out that talked about immunizations because we have to have a separate consent from that anyway. So those are the changes and we need a board approval.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments? All right, thank you. Ms.
Thank you.
Donahue. Okay, we will have for number 2, discussion items, policy 85-10, wellness, second reading. I just had that in my hand. Okay, this is section 8,000 operations. This is a copy of the wellness reading. It is 85-10. On number 4, we are changing the wording from such as food pyramid guide. It's now offer versus serve posters, and my place posters will be displayed in the cafeteria. There's also a change to item C, physical activity, and item 8 under physical activity. Additionally, under item E, number 1 will be changed as well. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? This was read earlier this year. Okay. Overnight field trip request, cheer camp, and that is Tamika Wilson. She's supposed to be in person.
Hi, I'm Tamika Wilson, and this is head coach, Miss Lisa Minor. We're here to ask that we can be approved to go to cheer camp. It's an overday 3-day camp. Normally we go every year. But with us getting a new head, we were kind of late in getting the paperwork to you all. So we're asking for approval today so that our middle school, we're taking 20 of our 7th and 8th graders, and we're taking our JV team and our varsity cheer teams. Thank you.
Are there any questions, comments?
I have one.
Yes.
Have we had the junior high previously included in the cheer camp, the overnight cheer camps?
Not in our district, no.
Why are we adding them now?
Because of the fact that we are trying to grow our program, and we looked around at other programs to grow ours. So we looked at Allen Park and they take their middle school. We looked at Carlson and they take their middle school. We looked at Adams, Rochester Adams, and they take their middle school. So we believe in growing our girls from the bottom up and giving them everything that they need so they can continue to love it and grow with it and then stay with the program. We keep losing numbers as we go forward. Some leave the district and go other places. And I think it's because we don't allow our younger girls to actually have the experience and get the knowledge that they need so that they feel confident to stay with the program and continue with it. So we're just trying to change the vision a bit, and we're looking around at others and we're just adopting some of their views because we see that it works. And so we're trying to bring a new vision to Taylor School District for our cheer program.
And you have 5 chaperones going or 4?
Correct, 4. Emily Thomas was going to go. However, she is going to be on a vacation for that. So we have 4 chaperones who are also the coaches.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments, questions? Okay, thank you very much. Ms.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, number 4, overnight conference request, summer leadership and learning academy MAS FPA. Ms. Primy?
Good evening. On behalf of myself and representing Congressional District 13, so our surrounding school districts and PSAs, I've been asked to attend the Summer Learning Leadership Academy. This is always a mouthful, for the Michigan Association of State and Federal Program Specialists for the state of Michigan. It's a great opportunity to network with other school districts and also work with our MDE partners, establishing guidelines, looking at policies, and making sure we're doing everything to effectively use our grant monies in the area. So there is no cost to the district for me to attend. It's all on behalf of the MAS FPS.
Any questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Vesperini. Okay, informed K-12, that is also.
Also me.
Stacy Vesperini.
So I am asking for board approval and to review the request for Inform K-12 digital solutions. Not only is it a solution for signatures, it's a workflow solution. So as much as I love getting my steps, walking around here, getting the signature shuffles, like I like to call it, it's a lot of shuffling of paperwork that can either get lost or misplaced. It's not timely or efficient waiting for these things to get processed. So moving through that, our grant forms will be moved to this system to make sure things are getting timely processed. People are getting their reimbursements and stipends in a timely manner. And this will all be grant funded. So again, this is no cost to the district.
Okay, I understand that other things may be processed this way too.
Other things can, so I am volunteering myself to try this. I'm looking forward to it a lot. It's a system I've used similar in the past. So I'm going to take on the task of kind of spearheading it for our grant department and with the goal of possibly moving it to other departments. If that were to happen, those would have to be general funded though.
All right, are there any other questions or comments? Okay,
Thank you.
okay. PA systems, Mr. Ross.
Good afternoon, John Ross, IT Director. Here to talk about PA systems and refreshes for the three schools that are undergoing some changes this year. That'd be Myers, Holland, and McDowell. So those three schools have to be reformed with their PA systems, being that they're having some additions done and some renovations that would require some additional speakers put in, wiring, things like that. And so we put out a bid and found somebody that we'd like to go with. And what, rather than just to replace some areas and have to go through basically a triage of what we have now, we're looking at just redoing all three buildings with a fresh system. The system will talk with each building, and then it can be something that potentially grows into other buildings as well. So we have one system across the district rather than a hodgepodge of systems that are 15 plus years old. So quick overview of what we're talking about here is a full replacement of systems, again, at Myers, McDowell, and Holland. Some of the things that we get out of the system is the ability to remotely manage that due to the fact that it's an IP-based solution. So it's something that's on our network and we can control. It's modular, which means that the base system that we're getting right now, that covers a lot more than what we already have, is expandable to other areas. And there's other technologies that we're not taking advantage of here, but they do exist, and it's something that we could take advantage of down the road. It's for security as well. So I know I come up here and talk a lot about security, but when you don't have working PA systems and you can't alert people throughout the building or outside or in hallways, then you can't obviously keep your building safe and let people know what's going on. We'll talk a little bit more about that later because it has some interesting security features. And then there's a 3-year software support that's included. And then future updates are very inexpensive. So I'm not really concerned about that. We're talking about updates that are in the hundreds of dollars, not even the thousands of dollars. And then the system name, this is the Nyquist C4000 series. And then the reason we went with Bogan is because they're a proven brand. We've had Bogan systems in our district for many, many years. I know we have to work on them quite often. So a quick intro into the company that we went with. They're called Worldwide Technical Services. They have a history of schoolwork. Matter of fact, all their current work is going on in school districts right now, so they don't have anything going on outside that space. They're currently putting in a system in Madison School District. They're located in Rochester Hills, which means they're local. Any servicing that needs to be done can be done relatively quickly. However, myself and Matt actually believe that we could do a lot of the servicing ourselves. Things seem to be pretty plug and play and easy to triage. A little bit about this Nyquist C4000 series itself is that, again, we've got that diverse product line. We'll see that in another slide here. But some of those security features, and this is a very simple thing, but it has an integration with the weather service. So it has the ability to integrate with that service. And let's say there's a tornado spotting, it can automatically put off the tornado warning throughout the building, and the kids can go into the tornado protocol. There's other things that it can do as well, such as potentially integrate with our boot system. So if a boot is pulled, it could take that signal from a boot and then set off an alarm. So that's also a possibility as well. There are also screens that you can add. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next slide, but it's a visual thing and then helps us to get more ADA compliant. That way, anybody who is a visual learner or is hearing impaired can see a visual warning that they can't hear normally. Some of the add-on things that we don't have right now that we'll be getting with this system are, as silly as it sounds, outdoor coverage on playgrounds and bus loops, hallway speakers at work. We have issues with a lot of the school classrooms that don't even work. So again, we're just increasing that layer of security that we have by making a system that's fully functional everywhere. We're also adding scheduled bells and announcements. It's surprising to me that we don't have a bell system in some of these buildings and that it's not programmable. So we'll be getting that. But let's say the principal is gone in the evening and wants to have his or her evening announcement played at the end of the day. They can pre-program that in the beginning of the day and set that off to go off towards the end of the day before the final bell. The clocks will sync with NIST, which is just a fancy way of saying that they'll always be in time with your cell phone and our desk phones and those devices. It's a network-based system. It's something that we have more experience with. That's why we feel confident that if there are issues, we can fix those issues ourselves. Those are things that we're trained to do, and that's part of our job, and we're able to do those things where we're not as well versed with traditional AV systems. And then I talked about the plugin, the expandability in the last slide. So that's a good segue to go into the next slide where you can see some of the products yourself. So the expandability, let's talk about the picture that we see here. You see a desk phone there, which is a really fancy command center that just essentially allows you to do everything. That's not the one that we had quoted, but it's very similar. Matter of fact, it's kind of a twofer in this case because what we would like to do is take the secretary phones, which also need upgrades as well. We were considering doing that, and we're able to put that on our current phone system. And so they'll have a centralized phone and paging system right on their desk there. So it's an all-in-one unit. It also takes some of that actually it takes all of the equipment out of the front main office, frees up some space, frees up desk space or wall space if it's mounted on a wall. So it's a small plus, but it's another positive. You'll see a clock speaker. It's a wall-mounted speaker. There's a clock with time. And that's not something that we're getting. We're getting a very similar speaker to that, just without that clock feature at the bottom. However, that's one of those, that's a very new device to the lineup. And it just shows that this lineup despite it being 4, 5, 6 years old, it just continues to develop. And then that screen is what is neat about that is it, again, it could be a visual device for people that are hearing impaired. So if there was a warning or an alert going off, it could just simply display it along there. One of the things that's not as eye-catching to anybody in here is one of these little black boxes that can be implemented into the system and split out into TVs across the building. And again, it could be an always-on clock, show the weather, or change over to announcements at a certain time, turn over to warnings and alerts as they occur. So again, another visual statement that the system can do. We didn't go into that yet, but these are some add-ons that we look forward to potentially testing down the road. Last slide here is the final purchase price is $90,400. It'd be bond funded, being that it's a rip out and replacement. So it would be bond funded under the allocated per building amount of $111,300. So that $90,400, by the way, is for all 3 buildings to be redone. The $111,300 is what's allocated per building. So we're approximately at $30,000 per building, which is less than a third of what is allocated for those purposes out of the bond funds. So it helps to keep it less expensive, and it helps us to free up some of those dollars for potentially other needs, and also any unforeseen things with security that needs to be added on with new door entryways and things like that. So it leaves plenty of padding there is what I'm trying to say. And you can see the building breakdown as well with Holland coming in at 27,800. That one came in less because we already have an E-rate cabling project. So this company doesn't have to come out and do a lot of their own cabling. Myers Elementary is 31,800 and McDowell's a very similar 30,800. And then a couple of the fun numbers here is what it all includes throughout the 3 buildings. And that's 3 public address controllers, fancy way of saying servers. Again, they're rack mounted. So it's taking all that unsightly stuff out of the front office, freeing up some space, and it's putting it in our network closets. The 3 administrative phones like that I was talking about, 87 indoor speaker replacements, 62 classroom call buttons, and 7 outdoor speakers. So essentially what we're getting with this package includes outdoor coverage throughout the buildings, indoor coverage throughout the hallways, all the classrooms, and some of the newer office spaces that are being built. And then again, new call buttons and features that we currently don't have. And then my actual last slide is, does anybody have any questions?
Have you seen this system work someplace or?
We saw a demo online. So we saw a working demo. We
Okay.
went through the software and we saw how it worked. So we didn't get to see the system at an actual building in place. But we did see it working in somebody's demo lab.
And I'll say I've not seen this system personally. I've seen similar systems and they make things a lot easier, life a lot more coordinated for the building administration and what happens there. Like I can speak to, we have certain buildings right now that you're going onto a computer that is like 20 to 30 years old to just control the bells alone, but that doesn't control the clocks. So the clocks and the bells don't always match because you got to run the one to the other. And so anything like this is going to help us have, a much more efficient process than what
And
we
to your
currently have.
point, those workstations that are being phased out that are 15 to 20 years old, they're running Windows XP, so they're security risks for
Yep.
us.
Windows XP, huh?
Mhm.
So this went out to bid. So who are the other 2 bid? Okay.
We had 4 bids total. And the other 3 were sound planning, Datacom, and B&B Diverse.
Is this the cheapest?
It is the cheapest solution as well. And the other vendors all proposed updated systems and they wanted to add on to our current solutions. They didn't prepare a quote with a fully brand new system. So it would have been quite expensive if they would have.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay. You can stay where you are, Mr. Ross, and Toshiba copiers.
All right, well, a couple quick updates before I get started. As you approved about 2 years ago now, we did a full copy machine refresh throughout the district. At the time, we talked about doing just the monochrome color or black and white copiers. And so that's what we did. There were close to 50 of them in total. And we just said at some point we would get to doing the color ones. There were a couple color copiers that were replaced due to extreme need. And now we just want to kind of finish off that project like we had originally talked about. And so this presentation is an extension of my original presentation a couple of years ago. A lot of this information is stuff that I'll be rehashing, so I'll probably go quickly through this one. But we're able to go through the same vendor, Toshiba, and just to remind you, one of the reasons why we're staying with Toshiba is all the promises that they made during their bid came true. I could probably count on one hand how many calls that we've had to make to Toshiba. So it's been an excellent experience in these past couple of years. And not only that, but one of the reasons we selected them was they were the least expensive vendor and they were on a marketplace that we could purchase without going to bid because they were already bid through. They're actually on 2 lists. One's a federal and then one's a Michigan list. So that saves us the time, money, and headache of going to bid on it again. So with the first slide, this is just a quick introduction to the project that we're going to do. It's a color copier refresh. These are the really small copiers that you see in the front offices of these schools. It's got the print management that our current printers all have, cost accounting, the security, the support, and you can see the model in the picture there. And now going back to the cost accounting, I want to tell you that this has been great for us. I had multiple principals at the end of the year say, show me what we were spending in printing. And we were able to give them a report so that they could budget accordingly and cut where they felt like they needed to cut. It's a report based on who printed, how much, and how much that spend was. And what we do in IT is we include the paper costs with that toner and maintenance cost as well. So they get a true cost of what it costs for their employees to print. Quick little bit about Toshiba, all the things, actually I just stole this from my original presentation a couple years ago, but they're still the 3rd largest thermal print manufacturer. The large parts depot with more than 100 million in inventory is still true, although we haven't taken advantage of it, knock on wood. And they have a big range of products that we haven't had to tap into yet, but it's just nice to know that we have a partner that has such a substantial range of products that if we needed to, we could get in there. Now, the couple times that we have had to have somebody on site, they did meet that on-site response time. They're fantastic and they fixed the problem right away. They were pretty simple fixes. And again, they're in tons of schools and government offices throughout Michigan. And they have a Michigan contract, which helps them to get that. About the printer itself, it's kind of boring stuff, right? But it's a color copier. It's a 1-for-1 replacement for what we have, except for the additional features that we already talked about, like the security, the print management. The nice thing about these, as opposed to our old color machines, is that now with that print management, we can, like we do at Hoover, who had theirs replaced, we control who can print color. Color is the more expensive print. So typically it's just a front office secretary, principal, that sort of thing. And so we can control who gets to print color. Everything else will just print black and white for that person if they send it there. We still have the automatic toner replenishment and The ability to scan to Google Drive is nice. So it's all the same features as the big machines. We're just getting a smaller footprint and a color version of it. Now, the final purchase price for the, well, for the 7 color copiers is $32,921. That's Holland, Pinion, McDowell, Myers, West, TVLA, and HR. I split the schools up so that we would have them on one page and then human resources on the other. So that's why you have 2 agreements there. And then the monochrome cost per page there is 0.0034 cents per page. That hasn't changed since our original agreement. That's pretty uncommon for incremental agreements like we're doing right now. But typically you see about a 15% increase every 5 years on these types of agreements. So we just haven't seen it yet. Color cost per page is 0.045. That again, even though we didn't do color printers at the first part of this project, that was still what they quoted us for future projects. And again, that hasn't changed. And then this would be a general fund expenditure. However, it's an expenditure that isn't in addition to what you already approved at the end of June. We had already anticipated the need for these and built that into the current budgets that were approved in late June. So that's that's it. Are there any additional questions about these machines or what we're going to do with them?
So the total cost, when I look at the action item, it's $28,218, and that's for the 7 printers, correct?
That would be for the 6 printers that are in the school buildings. The human resources would be on a second.
And this is being general fund?
It would be general fund, but again, we anticipated for it. And it was already in the, so it was
in your
anticipated into
budget,
the,
John?
excuse me?
Was in your budget.
Yes.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you,
Thank-
Jen. Okay, number 8, Mizell Insurance Premium. Edwina?
Okay, I'm coming to the board for approval for our 24-25 insurance premium for the district in the amount of $546,404. And what that covers is, it is our excess property, broiler and machinery, excess liability, educators' legal liability, crisis protection, cyber, claims management, administrative costs, MCCA assessment, self-insured assigned claims assessment, and a loss fund funded at 100%. So it is just the renewal to cover the district from those liabilities. And the premium this year is $546,404 through Mizell.
This isn't an increase
It is an increase,
of how much?
about 252,000. Well, the biggest reason for the increase is the loss fund funded at 100% at $259,757 that all the districts had to absorb.
So each district in the state?
No, it's not the state. We're part of the Mizell Insurance Group.
So each district part of Mizell had
Yeah.
to absorb this cost?
Not necessarily this amount, but in terms of, it depends on their claims experience. And then, based on the claims experience, this is what Taylor District was allocated. Every district is allocated a premium based on their claims insurance experience.
How many claims did we have last year?
We had 7 or 8 claims last year. One moment, I was just looking at that. what I'll do is I'll pull that and I'll circulate that to the board.
Was the increase known before, like, in the budget, is the budget reflected of this increase?
It's in the budget. Yes.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, number 9, also Edwina. Excess workers' comp.
Okay. This is for from Gallagher. This is for our excess workers' comp buffer layer in the amount of $46,000. It is the buffer layer and the insured retention for the district is up to $400,000. And the insured limit of indemnity or loss for the district is up to $2,000. So the insurance company will pay up to $4,000 and the district only has to pay up to $2,000 before they pick it up. And this is not anything new. This is just a renewal of what the district already have because of our workers' comp claims.
This has to be paid by the end of the month, correct?
Yes.
Are there any other questions or comments? Number 10, Braun Construction Change Order. Gary Kent, online.
Good afternoon. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Good afternoon, Gary Kent with Plant Moran Rail Point, here to present the Braun Construction Change Order for the 2021 bond program. This is for the summer's renovations at Holland, McDowell, and Myers. This one specifically is for the roofing replacement at Myers Elementary. During one of the bond team meetings in the original award recommendation, we were doing a partial roof replacement at Myers. During the bond team meeting, Braun brought up the alternate pricing to do a full roof replacement at Myers for the amount of $595,957.91. It was at that time talking internally with the district. They recommended going forward with this. To date, in the original contingency amount that was approved by the board, there was $329,078.72. To date, we have approved $18,342.23, leaving $310,736.49. We don't think that we're going to use nearly all of that. The thought was for this award recommendation to be for the full amount that they're requesting for the $595,000. The reason being behind that is we don't want to use all the existing allowances or contingencies remaining, just due to the fast-paced nature of construction and getting all the work done over summer. We don't want to deplete the previously awarded contingency amount in case, some unforeseen items come up. We want to have that money ready to go so we don't delay the start of school. So we are requesting a total amount of $595,957.91 for the full roof replacement at Myers Elementary.
So we went from a partial roof replacement to a full one, correct?
Correct.
And is this coming out of the bond fund?
Correct. This would all come out of the bond fund.
And Gary, am I correct in saying that when they started to do the partial roof, it was identified that basically the entire roof at Myers was on its last leg?
That is correct. Yeah, after doing some investigation, they realized that the useful life of that roof was nearing its end. So instead of patching and repairing this roof and paying dollars that, ultimately would have to be fully replaced in a few years anyways. We would capture this with the bond dollars so that it wouldn't hit, a general fund or other expense down the road.
And then the thought also around it was that with the areas that were being renovated, with the area that the roof would have been remaining, there was the potential of those new areas being damaged because of the state of the roof, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Again, I know Jack and his team would have to be up there calling for repairing and, patching and replacement, sectional areas throughout the next few years. And to your point, we didn't want to put all this money into a building just to have something be ruined. Another nice fact is if you replace the entire roof, you're going to have one company that you would call if anything did fail, and you have, the standard warranty with that. So it's, a whole new roof, everything would be under the same warranty. And it's just an easy one-stop shop.
And it is cheaper to do the full thing all together than do it in partial pieces, correct?
Correct. Yep. A lot of the cost is, well, not a lot, but a good portion of the cost would be just the mobilization fees for a contractor to come out, get set up and staged with the materials up on the roof, the tear off and all of that. So having the crew already out there definitely gives some economies of scale.
Okay, and how long is this warranty for?
I don't have that detail. Typically, it's about a 20 to 30-year warranty with commercial roofs, depending on the detail that was spec'd by the architect. I can send that in a board memo and look that up for you.
This says 20 years on the paper.
20-year, okay.
Just 20?
What's the average age of a roof, Gary? Like how long?
It
I meant. Let me.
it all depends on the conditions. If you get a run of heavy winters and a lot of snow and rain hitting it, it's anywhere from 20 to 30 years typically is when we'd recommend looking at replacing a roof. But weather conditions can definitely impact that useful life.
Do we know how old Myers is currently?
I do not. I know Jack Giroud did a district-wide assessment on their roofs with a company, and he has all that data that he could provide. If you'd like, Kyle, I can gather that information for you and send that over.
Are there any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. We will now go to board member resignation. Okay, the Taylor School Board is seeking applications for the current vacant position on the Board of Education. Hereafter called the board. An individual will be appointed to fill the vacant position through December 31st, 2024, and will be placed by the individual elected to the position. No, that's not correct. Did you ask John about that? Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. It would be December 31st, 2026. The individual who meets the following criteria is eligible for a position on the board. You must be 18 years old, a registered voter in the district where he or she is a candidate, a citizen of the United States, a citizen of the state of Michigan for at least 30 days, and a resident of the district. The term residence is defined as the place at which persons habitually sleeps, keeps his or her personal effects, and has a regular place of lodging. If a person has more than one residence, or if a person has a residence separate from that of his or her spouse, that place at which the person resides the greater part of time shall be his or her official residents. That's Michigan Common Law 168.11. All those interested in submitting their name for the board seat shall indicate by written application. The written application must be sent via email and/or mailed or hand-delivered to the following: Ms. Ann Block, Board President, ann.block@taylorschools.net, Taylor School District Board of Education, 13500 Pine Street, Taylor, Michigan, 48180. Interested persons must submit application which include the following: a resume, which includes the applicant's address, telephone number, and email address if applicable, and a letter of intent expressing interest in the board position and qualifications for the position. All applications must be received at the email address or the board office address listed above no later than 4 p.m. on Friday, July 26, 2024. Following a review of the submitted materials, the board will schedule interviews with selected candidates. Not all candidates for the board vacancy will be interviewed. A timeline for the board vacancy is as follows: post board member vacancy via district website, district Facebook page, and email posting to district staff on Thursday, July 18th, 2024. Applications are due by 4 p.m. on Friday, July 26th, 2024. Special board meeting to interview the candidates on Monday, August 5th, 2024. Board appoints the new member at its Wednesday, August 7th, 2024, regular board meeting. Are there any questions?
Will we be doing a special meeting to conduct interviews?
Yes, I just read that. Okay. No questions, no comments?
Not a comment about the job posting, more or less just a comment to thank Mr. Myers for his almost 6 years of service on the board. I know it was stated before. It takes a lot to sit on a school board, especially he was in his second term. And so for him to rerun that, it just takes a lot of dedication. I just want to say thank you to him for 6 years of service to the community. And I wish him and his family the best and good health and a speedy recovery during this time.
Okay. We will go over to action items, Mr. Wright.
Item number 6, action items. First up, we have the Corewell Health Consent for Care Policy, Policy 6320. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the following additions to the Beaumont School Wellness Program Consent for Care Policy. Changed the branding from Beaumont to Corewell Health in the policy and on the consent. Added our newest site, DEPSA, to the top of the consent. Taking out the immunization part on the general consent, since we require a separate consent for immunization.
Immunizations.
That word. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mrs. Thomas. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Shufeld's absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Back to continue.
Till we take
Oh,
action,
we take
and
action.
that's the last action item.
Mr. Myers is absent. That carries 5-0. All right, item number 2, policy 8510 wellness. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the revisions to the wellness policy 8510 as discussed. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Shufeld's absent. Mr. Wright's a yes. Ms. Block?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Carries 5-0. Item number 3, overnight field trip request, cheer camp, policy 2340 and policy 8640. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the following overnight field trip requests: middle/high school cheer camp, Allendale, Michigan, August 2nd through the 4th, 2024. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Thomas. Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is abstaining from the vote due to a personal conflict. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
That carries 4-0. All right, item number 4, overnight conference request, Summer Leadership and Learning Academy, MASFPA, Policy 6550. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the overnight conference request for Stacy Vespremi to attend Summer Leadership and Learning Academy, MASFPA, Traverse City, Michigan, July 23rd through the 25th, 2024. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mrs. Thomas. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. That carries 5-0. Item number 5, Informed K-12, Policy 6320 is recommended the Board of Education approve the Informed K-12 Digital Forms and Workflow Solutions Agreement not to exceed $28,035. Funding will be provided through administrative cost of the Title II grant. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. That carries 5-0. Item number 6, Policy 6320. It is recommended the Board of Education adopt the resolution accepting and authorizing the award of contract for new PA system in the amount of $90,400 to Worldwide Tech Services. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Thomas. Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
That was a struggle. All right, item number 7, Toshiba, Policy 6320 is recommended the Board of Education approve the quote for a new Toshiba copier in the Human Resources Department not to exceed $4,703. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Carries 5-0. Item number 8, Toshiba, Policy 6320. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the quote for new Toshiba printers for Holland, Kenyon, McDowell, Myers, West, and Taylor High School. I thought it was TVLA. Is it TVLA or Taylor High School?
too. It was TVL.
I just want to make sure we say the right schools. It is for Holland, Kenyon, McDowell, Myers, West Middle School, and Taylor High School TVLA. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. That carries 5-0. Right. Number 9, Mizell. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 Mizell premium not to exceed $546,404. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
That carries 5-0. Item number 10, Gallagher Access Workers Compensation. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the Access Workers Compensation buffer layer not to exceed $46,000. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support? Support by Mr. Heath. Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
That carries 5-0. Item number 11, Braun Construction Change Order. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the change order request added cost to Myers Elementary project. The total additional cost is $595,957.91. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Ms. Block. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
No.
Mrs. Thomas.
No.
Ms. Shufelt is a no, or is an absent. That carries.
It doesn't.
3.
Thought we did have 4. In the affirmatives.
Some do, and then positive, if this is one that rises to heaven for. But we can ask, John Cobble if it does arrive here shortly.
Because we're only, well, we haven't approved it yet.
Motion passes pending legal counsel's approval. And then item number 12. Board member vacancy posting, policy 0142.5. Whereas the Board of Education received a notice of resignation from board member David Myers on July 17th, 2024, and whereas pursuant to MCL 168.310, the resignation became effective immediately upon Mr. Myers providing his resignation to the board. And whereas pursuant to MCL 168.311 and Board Bylaw 0142.5, the board is required to fill the board vacancy within 30 days. And whereas Board Bylaw 0142.5 provides a procedure for filling a board vacancy. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes and directs the board president in conjunction with the superintendent to provide a notice of vacancy for the vacant board seat in compliance with the procedures and timelines prescribed in MCL 168.311 and Board Bylaw 0142.5. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Myers is absent. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. That carries 5-0. We have to vote to approve the resignation though. What? Yeah. Thought we had to approve the resignation. As a board.
You want to do it, just overdo it.
All right. Action
This is what we did in the past.
we'll have to come back to that because it didn't come with the revisions.
No. Okay, I have to use yours because I don't have the rest of the, yes. Our next item is superintendent's report, Mr. Wager.
Right, thank you very much. First off, I'd like to start off by thanking Mr. Myers as well. In the time that I have known him, both back in my time as a building administrator and then as this role serving as superintendent, I have known nothing other than Mr. Myers always being a strong advocate for the students, the staff, and the community of the Taylor School District. And I really want to thank him for the time he has dedicated to his post here as a trustee on the Taylor School Board. Next part I want to bring up, because this is something I've seen come up a few times now when we get into the public comment. There's been a great point raised by several individuals that, you know, a lot of times the questions that come up in public comment are things that everybody wants to know the answers to. I know per policy and per practice, it's where myself or my designee, somebody reaches out to that person and informs them afterwards. But sometimes those are public things that a lot of people want to know. And I think that is a great point that we should be addressing. So in the coming days, I will be putting together a process where we can communicate those answers, whether it be through our website or through other communications. But I think that is the fair and right thing to do. Obviously, some of the concerns that come up in public comment are very individualized, and those are things we would not put out there. But if it's something that we see the value, that it is something that everybody should have that answer and that opportunity to know what's going on, we're going to put together a process for that. I think that is the way to be transparent and to build that trust with our community. And the last piece I wanted to bring up is that coming up on the November ballot, and we, a few meetings ago, did pass the resolution to support this as a school district. Wayne Risa is going to be having on the ballot their enhancement millage renewal. This is an item that we're going to be putting out some information to the community coming forward exactly on what that looks like. But this is something that is very helpful to our bottom line, the dollars we get through this enhancement millage. This is one of those things where RISA is able to levy the millage, they're able to collect the money, but then they separate it out to their constituent districts. And so we're going to be putting out information of exactly how that affects us, how that benefits the Taylor schools, and how that benefits our students. I will say, just on the first kind of informational piece on this, we want to be clear that this is a renewal. This is not a tax increase of any kind to the citizens of Wayne County. And it is countywide. It is not just the Taylor School District. Currently, the cost per month that it costs the taxpayer right now is $8 a month, and they are forecasting that that will remain the exactly same at $8 a month. So again, just a renewal, but it is something that we have benefited from greatly, as this has been on the books for quite some time with RISA at this point. But we will be putting out even further information in the future.
This is a Wayne Risa millage,
Correct.
not a Taylor School District.
Correct. And
This is Wayne. Risa.
and it's a countywide vote. Yes.
All right, our consent agenda, Mr. Wright.
Item number 8, consent agenda, policy 0166.1 and policy 6470. First, we have minutes from the June 19th, 2024 regular board meeting. Item number 2, minutes from the June 26th, 2024 special board meeting. Item number 3, consolidated items, payment of current bills, certified, non-certified, and administrative reports. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support? Support by Mrs. Thomas. Ms. Block?
Yes.
Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Ms. Schutfeld is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. That carries 5-0.
Okay, next item on the agenda for next meeting, Wednesday, August 7th, 2024, we will have good news. Our next item, which is actually number 10, because we changed the numbers, will be public comment. Policy 167.3. Thank you to all of you who are able to be with us in person and online tonight. We understand the importance of continuing to keep you all informed and provide an opportunity for you to be heard. Tonight's audience participation will be for all who wish to speak, whether it be in person or online. We will begin with those in person. If you would like to address the board, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. After all of those in person have had the opportunity to speak, that opportunity will be given to those online. Please take into consideration common courtesy and keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. We will provide and assist with timekeeping so that each speaker will be able to monitor their own time and know when to conclude, so all who wish to speak will have an equal opportunity to do so. If there are any questions at this meeting or by some other avenue, Superintendent Michael Wager or his designee will work on getting those answers in a timely fashion for the time being. We will start with those in person.
Good evening. Caroline Patz, 6860 Jackson. I have 5 things I want to ask for comment on. Number one is this discussion items that you have, and I know the city council does this. When you discuss something, the audience, if they have something they want to say about just that item, they could come up and say something. And you don't do that. So, I mean, just for example, I didn't have anything to say on here, but I was thinking like PA systems. I remember using Randall's PA system and it was atrocious, and so that was a good thing. So just things like that. Have you thought about maybe having that open just for discussion? Nobody could say anything other than that. They'd have to wait for audience participation. So that's one. Number 2, I happened to drive by Eureka Dale because I was panicking thinking that they tore it down already and I missed my bricks. But of course, it's just fenced off and the bricks, there's nothing down on the building yet. So I'm okay with that. Number 4 or number 3 is there's lots, we always get rumors. There's lots of rumors out there. People are saying that they're getting phone calls on additional money for bond or whatever. I know the RESA thing is something separate. That's a renewal and that's not the school district. How do we nip those in the bud? How do we get rid of those rumors? Maybe again on the website or some other, avenue. And also one of those rumors is, and I went to lunch with some retired and present employees, and they were saying that they heard that the high school is not going to be built. The bond money is going to be used for something else and blah, blah, blah. And, with the grant, you have to use it for what that grant says. I understand that. They're saying, that they're going to find another building someplace else and renovate that for the high school. And like I said, this is something that is out there, but we're not hearing anything from many of you. So we need you to step up and say, guys, we're still doing this. I understand cost and all this kind of stuff, because now you're doing all this renovation on the elementary schools, and the people that are wanting this high school are going, okay, all that money's going to them. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to be communicated out to the public that we are going to have a high school, correct? Because I'm going to make sure that thing is built. So that was one of them. And another question I have is Bill and I were just talking, when somebody comes to a meeting and they're hearing impaired, they're deaf. And I think it says someplace on the website that they call ahead of time or contact you ahead of time to see if there's, do you have somebody that does sign language? Or if somebody's here, I know at home they would have it, closed caption on their computer or on their TV, whatever. But do you have somebody that is a sign language person that could be here at a meeting if somebody needed to be here? I was just curious on that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Pitts. Are there any more in person? Are there any online, Shauna? Okay. Oh, that is you. Okay, our next item.
Item number 11, adjournment to closed session, policy 0137.2, pursuant to Michigan's Open Meetings Act being Public Act 267 of 1976, and as amended, I move the board convene in closed session pursuant to 8C negotiations and 8H material exempt from disclosure by state or federal statute. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Heath. Mr. Heath.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufelt is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
That carries 5-0. We will go into closed session at 7:10 p.m.
Okay, we are back from closed session at 11:02 p.m. There is action after closed session, Mr. Wright.
First up, we just want to make a clarification on a previous action item, which is action item number 11, the Braun Construction change order. Per legal counsel's advice, that motion did fail. Did not pass. Right. Moving on to item number 12, action after closed session. First, we have a motion to approve the recommendation of the hearing panel to approve the conditional reinstatement of student number 071724-01. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Heath. Is there support? Support by Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas.
Yes.
Ms. Shufel is absent. Mr. Wright is a yes. Ms. Block.
Yes.
Mr. Heath.
Yes.
That carries 5-0.
Okay. So this will be item 13, board member comments. I would just like to say on the 4th of July, the class of 1980, which I am a member of from Truman High School, our homecoming queen passed away. So she was a very big part of high school. We weren't bestest of buddies, but she had a lot of best buddies in high school. Her name was Nora Bays. And I just like to say it's hard to look at somebody that you went to high school with and know that they're not on this earth anymore, but rest in peace, Nora Bays. Anybody else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Thomas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Heath. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Thomas?
Yes.
Mrs. Shufel is not here. Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Ms. Block is a yes. Mr. Heath?
Yes.
Okay, our meeting is adjourned at 11:04 PM. Notice that it never says 8.